can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. We all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keto. And exposed to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. Now I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, Young G's. And I'm a self-made man out of Sweden. And it's still off top, I'm tweaking.
Welcome in to the WAG show. This is episode 72. I'm your host, Ben Hostler. We are here to talk about today's best bets for Wednesday, May 24th. How you guys doing? If you're in the chat, say what's up. Let me know. How you doing? For me, I'm all right today. Yesterday, down day in baseball. My baseball takes were horrific yesterday. 2 units in the red for me yesterday. Luckily, I did hit the rate. I gave out six plays yesterday for baseball. I hit 2 of the 4, so down 2 units. That was a good parlay. Yeah, on top of my baseball takes being horrific yesterday, I sent out the free same game parlay for the Celtics and Heat yesterday. Emailed it out to all some email members. We have like 20,000 people on our email list. And dude, it's like it was plus 550, I think were the odds, and hit everything except for Jaylen Brown, 20 plus points. He finished with 17. He needed 3 more points. And he had 2 shots late in the game that both kind of rimmed out. So even on a day where I couldn't buy one in baseball, Jaylen Brown had to come in and just sell the parlay. You know, I wanted so badly to hit that parlay just because Andy missed 3 free throws. Exactly. If he just made his free throws, we would have won. I mean, we did the hard part. We hit all the other bets. Jason Tatum went for 30. Jimmy Butler hit his rebounds and assists. Caleb Martin went over. Marcus Smart hit his assists. Bam Adebayo was kind of hot in the first half. Easily went under his point total. And, yeah, Jaylen Brown, man. And you know what? I was going to talk about this today. First of all, I told you guys the Celtics were going to win that game last night. I did talk about yesterday the plus 205. Tatum to score 30-plus and the Celtics to win. Take that instead of the Celtics money line. So, hopefully, I know a couple people DM me on Twitter. Hopefully, you guys tailed that a little bit. But I told you guys the Celtics win the game. I can tell that the Boston Celtics don't like Jaylen Brown. I don't know. Maybe I haven't paid attention enough, but I saw multiple times in that game last night where he's on the ground and, like, it's not really – I mean, pretty much everyone will help you up on a basketball court. They didn't seem in a rush to help Jaylen Brown get up off the floor. So I can tell that they don't like Jaylen Brown. So that adds fuel to the fire in terms of me saying that Jaylen Brown's going to be on a new team next year. The only thing that could save that is if they win a title. But we'll see what happens. I honestly, guys, you guys can roast me. I think the Celtics are going to do it. I think they're going to come back and win. I mean, that's exactly what they needed. They've been getting so unlucky in terms of the shooting variance in this series. and it finally corrected last night. They made a ton of threes in the second half, and they're big favorites in this next game at home. So, if it's 3-2 and they're going back to Miami and all the pressure's on Miami to not be the first team to blow a 3-0 lead, we got ourselves a series now. I think the Celtics are going to do it. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to be the first team ever to come back from 3-0 down. And I also talked about yesterday taking a little stab on it was plus 800 for the Celtics to win the series yesterday. By the time we got to the stream, it was down to plus 700. It's like plus 215 now. I mean, the odds have just shrunk. So there's really no. I mean, you can still get it at plus. If you can still get it at plus 200, maybe worth a shot. But I don't know. I do think that I think they can do it. I think they can do it. See that tweet calling about Jaylen Brown? Burner asked him to go to. Yeah, I also saw. I saw something else about him, but unless they come back and win the title, I think he'll be on a new team. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like Jason Tatum gets more. You guys know I'm a big Jason Tatum defender. I think he's a top 5 player in basketball. I defend him all the time, but I still think he gets a bad rap. Like, if he plays one bad game, it's like the end of the world. He's had multiple games now. Game 7 in the series against the Sixers, won them that game. Last night, he was critical in that second half. He's played well in big moments, and he's still 25, 25 is young in the NBA. I know that we're filled with all these guys that are 20, 21 years old now, but 25 is still young. LeBron did not have a championship at 25 years old, So I think that it's important to just add some context. I mean, he's still been great in the playoffs. He's been to an NBA Finals. They went easier when they let Brown run the offense. Yeah, I mean, for as long as Tatum and Brown have played together, it's still it seems like it's not ironed out, like them playing together. So I don't know. Like I was trying to think what kind of a trade Jaylen Brown would net you, because you still need like a second guy, right? Like if you're calling Brown the second guy to Tatum, they don't have anyone else, obviously, of Jaylen Brown's caliber on the roster. So that you would obviously get some picks, but you're going to need guys because the team can still compete. I don't know. It's going to be curious to see. The only thing that will heal this is if they come back. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting offseason for sure. There's a lot of smoke around Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know if you guys have seen that, which I thought was interesting. I could see AD not asking for a trade, but I could see the Lakers moving on from AD, especially because I don't even think AD would be opposed to it, because that report came out that LeBron kind of hinted to Anthony Davis that after next season, LeBron won't really be, he might retire. So, AD might be looking at it like, I can get out of here before things get crazy in terms of LeBron retiring and stuff. So I wouldn't be shocked to see AD on a new team. It's going to be a spicy offseason. I think several teams will be looking to make big moves. Thoughts on Ja Morant? Yeah, I saw that stuff with Ja. I mean, look, if he's really going through stuff, I hope he gets help. But I'm gonna call spade a spade, and I haven't seen anything he hasn't posted anything along those lines until he starts getting in trouble. So I don't know. To me, that came off as disingenuous. That came off like, oh, I've been in trouble recently, so I'm gonna put this out there so maybe people feel bad or something. I don't know. It seemed fake to me what he did. So I'm just going to be honest. I could be wrong. You guys could roast me for that. I don't really care. But to me, that seemed fake, that whole situation. 5 current players that need to hang it up. 5 current players that need to hang it up. I don't even know. Udonis Haslam's one. That guy just collects paychecks on the Heat's bench. I can't believe that guy still plays. What is his salary? Does anybody know? What does Udonis Haslam make? To literally just sit there. Yankees money line tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna talk. This can be a short stream. We don't have any basketball to talk about, and there was a bunch of day baseball, so not a ton going on. So I'll kind of dive in here. I actually might lean towards the Orioles side of that game, but it can go either way. So we'll start out with let's see here. We'll start out with this 6 o'clock game here. Cardinals Reds. Lively against Steven Matz. I mean, the Reds sold yesterday. There's no way around it. I gave out the Reds as a free bet. And if you told me yesterday, prior to the game starting, that they scored 5 runs, had a chance for 6 or 7 runs because guys were left on base, if you told me they scored 5 runs off Wainwright in the first 4 or 5 innings, I would have felt pretty good about that Reds bet. Unfortunately, Graham Ashcraft, something's going on with his mechanics or something, but I mean, he gives up 7 runs, and you know, the Reds then the Reds. So what's even messed up more about this is they cut it to 2 runs, and there's kind of like this sense of like, oh, they still could tie it. Then they load the bases, 2 outs, but they load the bases in the bottom of the 9th inning. Like, they really just get your hopes up, and then a little ground out to end the game. Super unfortunate. So I do think I would be on the red side of this game because I'm not a huge Mats fan, and I like the movement I'm seeing here towards the Reds, but I don't know. The Reds I have a sour taste in my mouth after last night, so I don't want to bet them, but if I was leaning somewhere in that Cardinals-Reds game, I would lean towards the Reds. Blue Jays Rays. I was wrong about the Rays last night. They got shellacked. What did they lose? Like 20-1. They had Luke Raley in their pitch, and he was giving up home runs. But that'll happen. It's baseball. I still, I'll bet on the Rays at home most times. I definitely think they're a good bet here. Minus 184 is a little steep for my liking, but definitely prefer McClanahan to Kikuchi. The Rays have smashed left-handed pitching. Like I said, they've been good at home, so I don't know if I wouldn't bet them at minus 180, but you could look to parlay that. I think even after last night's debacle, still lean Rays today. Padres Nats. I mean, this is a gross game. Trevor Williams, I'm not a fan of, so I would just lean Padres. Padres got it going a little bit last night. Maybe they can string some good offensive days together. So I would lean Padres side of that game. Shane, 4.5 strikeouts. I haven't dove into like his numbers against the Blue Jays, but I do know he is good. Like, he strikes out a lot of righties. He's going to see a lot of righties today, but he's good in terms of striking out righties. So I'm not super worried about the matchup. And then we'll get to this Orioles game that some Banks and Chat had asked. So we have Tyler Wells against Nestor Cortez. Here's how I look at this game. First and foremost, 64% of the bets and 74% of the money is on the Yankees, but the line moved towards the Orioles. It's a bad sign for the Yankees. Secondly, I think Tyler Wells is an underrated pitcher. And I think Nestor Cortez is slightly overrated pitcher. And Nestor Cortez has not been good. Now, his advanced numbers are not as good this season as they were last season, Cortez that is, but his advanced numbers also are not as bad as his surface numbers. His ERA should come down theoretically a little bit here, based off of like his expected ERA and stuff. But I'm not a Cortez fan. I've always thought that he's kind of gimmicky, and he's relied on. If you guys notice, when he can really get loose and kind of mess with his delivery and timing and all that stuff, that's when he's having his best outings, which, it's just kind of gimmicky. I mean, his stuff isn't super great. He's just a good, like, he can hit his spots and mess with his timing and his funky delivery and all that stuff. So I don't really like to back that. And I think Tyler Wells is underrated. I think Tyler Wells is a solid pitcher. Now, going up against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, that's a different situation. But I would lean towards the Orioles here. The Orioles offense has been good. I'm not a fan of Cortez, especially as a minus 150 favorite. So I would lean more towards the Orioles side of that game, I think. I might be wrong, but I would lean more towards the Orioles side, I think. Cortez has got rocked his last night. Yeah, so part of that gives me pause, though. Like, he's due for a good start. Like, it's tough to expect him to get rocked 4 games in a row. Like, I feel like he's due for a good start. So if you're back in the Yankees tonight, that's one way to look at it. Like, he's definitely due. He's had 3 bad starts in a row. He's due for a good one. And he's at home. But, dude, the Orioles offense is legit. They're a legitimately good team. So, it's not really like the past few years picking on the Orioles. Like, I believe their offense is good. I don't know if they can sustain their current pace in terms of their record because of their starting pitching, but their offense is legit. They're going to score runs all year. I just don't know that they need to trade for a pitcher. Luckily, their farm system is pretty deep. So, I think they can definitely make a move. I think they could be in the ballpark of someone like a Dylan Cease coming over to the Orioles because their farm system's stacked. They're young. And I don't think that they have a bad pitching staff. It's just they don't really have a clear-cut number 1 guy. They have a bunch of, like, number 3s. Like, Kyle Bradish, I think, is solid. Tyler Wells, I think, is solid. John Means, when he's coming back, solid. He's coming back soon, I think. But they don't have, like, a number 1. They need to make a move for a pitcher. But the offense is legit. So I don't love picking on the Orioles offense. Today's special is Judge to get a hit and Yankees to win. Yeah, I mean, Judge to get a hit, I think I'm fine with. I just would, I don't know, I would be cautious betting on the side of that game. Maybe lean towards the under. Because I like I said, I do think Cortez is due for a good start, and I like Tyler Wells. So maybe the under is the play here. Next up, we have Dodgers Braves, Bryce Elder against Tony Gonsolin. 2 guys due for regression. Both these guys outperform their metrics significantly. I don't think either are very good pitchers overall. The Braves are at home, so I'll lean towards them. But Bryce Elder up against the Dodgers lineup is a little bit scary. But I'll side with the Braves at home here. I think we could see some offense in that game. Mets Cubs. I said I would bet Cubs once Kodai Senga got scratched yesterday. That was one of the few baseball games I was right about. The Cubs did win. Tonight we have Marcus Stroman against Senga. He got moved to today. I mean, Stroman's been pretty good, so I don't really want to bet against him. Senga started off hot, but I don't know. He walks too many guys to like. It's easy for him to give up a big inning because he walks so many guys. Now, there is really, really good pitching weather in Wrigley tonight, which is why that total is only at 6.5. I would bet the over 6.5. I think over 6.5 is the play in this game as opposed to one of the sides. You like under 9.5 Braves Dodgers? I wouldn't touch that. I don't know. Both those guys, they're just, I don't know. It's weird because, like, it's tough to figure out Tony Gonsolin because he's done it his whole career, but he's never as good as his advanced stuff says. And Bryce Elder's been the same. Like, it hasn't bit him yet, but he's just not as good as the numbers say. So I don't like to, like, I don't know. It's easy for those guys to blow up. Favorite team to score 10 plus runs tonight. I would probably go Mariners or I would go Mariners or Kansas City Royals would be my 2 picks. Royals for like a wild card, but Mariners would be my other pick, I think. Speaking of Royals, we have Tigers, Royals, Matt Boyd, Zach Greinke. I feel like these guys pitch against each other every single start. I like to take the Royals against some of these bad pitchers. Greinke, I mean, he's tough to figure out. I don't know. So I wouldn't really bet a side. I'd look to bet the over in this game. Over 8.5 looks pretty good. Tigers can get a few runs off Greinke, and I think that the Royals could really have some success against Matt Boyd tonight. So over 8.5 in the Tigers-Royals game would be my play there. Marlins, Rockies, Sandy Alcantara against Kaufman. Kaufman has not really impressed me, but Sandy, look, he's been inconsistent. We've talked about that a few times this season. Definitely don't want to lay minus 170 on him, given how he's looked. So, I don't know. Maybe you could look at like a first 5 run line or something, but I'll probably be avoiding that game. Sandy, I don't know. I don't like what I've seen. I want to see it a few times. He's really been inconsistent. I want to see the consistency from him before I start betting on him. Sandy at 4 on Prize Picks is trap. Yeah, I would never. If you guys don't know, I would never bet on Sandy Alcantara strikeouts. He's never, even when he's been at his best, he's never been a strikeout pitcher. He has a few games where he gets Ks, but overall, not a swing and miss strikeout pitcher. So I would just never bet on his strikeouts ever to avoid tilting because he just doesn't get strikeouts, which is weird because his stuff is so good. You would think that he'd be racking up strikeouts, but he really never has done that. Red Sox, Angels, Tyler Anderson, James, Paxton. I would lean Paxton here. I know the Red Sox, they didn't really do what I thought they would do last night, but Tyler Anderson has been terrible. He's been bad this year. So I actually like the Red Sox a good bit here. I'll probably add them to my card at minus 120, or maybe look to bet them first 5. But I think it's a good spot for the Red Sox tonight, going back to the well with them. And then finally, we have a huge favorite, minus 300 favorite, Seattle Mariners, Bryce Miller against Ken Waldichuk. Ken Waldichuk has been terrible this year. He's given up the second most home runs in all of baseball. The Seattle Mariners have plenty of guys that have power against left-handed pitching. Miller has outperformed his metrics a little bit, but he has such a good fastball. The A's, I think that he could give the A's a lot of trouble tonight. So definitely not laying minus 300 on anybody, but I would definitely, for premium plays, I put the Mariners in a parlay today. I would look to parlay the Mariners with your favorite other team and just run that because I think the Mariners win tonight for sure. But I can't bet minus 300 alone. So if you want to pair them up with any other team you like, that's how I'd go about that. Favorite World Series bet? Let's pull the odds up. I actually haven't checked the odds in a while. Dodgers are the favorites at plus 450. Braves at plus 500. Rays plus 650. Yankees at plus 1,200. Padres at plus 1,800. If I was going to put a futures bet in right now for the World Series at current odds, if I was just picking a winner, I would probably pick the Braves or the Rays. That would be my World Series matchup, AL and NL. But in terms of the odds, right now on May 24th, my favorite futures bets for the World Series, give me the Seattle Mariners at 35-1 and give me the Baltimore Orioles at 45-1. I like both those numbers. The Orioles, like I said, they're in the market. They're going to be looking to make a big move here at the deadline, I think. There's no reason for them not to. They have plenty of ammunition in the minors. to make a big deal. Their offense is steady. They don't need offense. They just need to go get a pitcher. And the Mariners, I like the Mariners preseason. They've scuffled a little bit coming out of the gate, but I think they'll be fine. I think they'll make the playoffs. Very good bullpen, solid lineup when they're on. And they do have a couple guys they can rely on in the rotation, especially if Miller keeps it up. So Seattle Mariners 35-1, Baltimore Orioles 45-1. That would be the two odds that I like the most. What are your betting goals for this upcoming NFL season? Betting goals this upcoming season for me, I haven't thought about it a ton off the top of my head. 65 or more. I would like to hit 65% or more of my bets. That would definitely be a goal. Obviously make money for myself and the members. That would be another goal. I'm still up over 15 units for the baseball season. So, as long as I would like to get up past 20 again for the full season. We'll see what happens the rest of the year. But as long as I'm pretty content, because it is hard at the end of the day. And when people go into betting a lot, they don't understand it. But, the best bettors in the world are hitting 56% of the time. Like, I know when you think about it, like a professional bettor, you would think that they win all the time, but that's not necessarily how it works. So at the end of the day, as long as I'm making money, I'm happy. But at least if I could get to 65% of my bets, that would be really, really fun. In terms of DFS, I almost qualified for the King of the Beach last year. I made it to the second round, and then I didn't make it to the final rounds. But I would like to maybe qualify for that this year. We'll see how big the tournament is and stuff whenever those details come out. But qualifying for King of the Beach, I think, would be fun. I almost did it last year, so we'll see if I can do it this year. How bad investigation of NFL gambling affect this season? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they've been trying to send a message with that stuff, so maybe that will iron it out. But time will tell. That we're in uncharted territory with betting being legal and stuff for really the first time across all these states. So we're kind of in uncharted territory. I'm not even sure if they know how that's going to go. Do you give out NFL bets like baseball? Yeah. So for premium members, football will be pretty much the same. I'll have my betting card every single week. I'll have more prop picks for football than baseball as well every week. We'll still be doing the show every single day, so it's not like nothing with that will change. But yeah, for football, we'll still have my full card up for the week every single week. Some prop picks, DFS core plays, all that stuff. So everything will be the same. If not anything, probably adding more for football than for baseball. But it's coming up quick. It's May 24th. So, OTAs are already going on. Once we kind of, once the NBA finals ends, it's only baseball. But I mean, we're already going to be, half into June by that point. So, we only have like 2 months, and then the preseason's here. I absolutely smashed betting on the NFL preseason last year. So once that starts, I mean, we'll be full in on football season. Overall, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. I only gave out 2 premium bets, like I said, for today. Kind of a down day for me, but don't like a ton of spots. Tomorrow's Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can find me here. We'll be reviewing today and talking about tomorrow's best bets. So good luck with your bets. If you need anything further, find me in the Discord, betkarmachat.com. Download the BetKarma app for free. Click the chat room link. Hop in. And good luck with your bets tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow.